starting this. I'm just having some coffee, monitoring my heart rate, and I'm gonna wait for some people to come in here. We'll see what happens. Well, I'll do a little overview, and I guess if people show up, I can. Hey everybody, good afternoon. Yeah, so was just watching Eric Rader's live, and I thought I'd come on here. This man is a liar. This man is a bully. This man is an ineffectual protester and doesn't know what protest is. They think putting up flyers is the only way to protest, and that you have to be nice to people to effectively protest, that it has to be a public relations industry thing, right? Because he comes from marketing and he knows about marketing, and he thinks this is all going to be PR marketing, frou-frou, horseshit. Unfortunately, that's not how these things work. And if you'd ever done any of this work, Eric, in your entire life, other than on YouTube, right, for money, then maybe you'd know the intrinsic value of any of these things, right? So Eric's a liar. Eric has curated a little land over there in his channel where he's blocked so many people that he can't possibly hear any critical voice about himself, his bullying and his lying, okay? So today he's taken time out of his wonderful Sunday drives where he goes and drinks before 10 a.m. and gets sloshed at some bar and then drives around the windy canyon roads with all of you, right? Wonderfully creative, I think. Yeah, listening to classic rock and driving around. It's super creative. Wonderful protest as well. I'm not sure what it means, other than like an over-the-hill dude ineffectually faffing about, flailing, drinking before noon regularly, and then drunk driving. I'm not sure what else that accomplishes. Oh yeah, no, you butter up a bunch of people in the morning, make yourself feel better, and make some money. But okay, so today you take time out of your freaking day, okay, to out and out attack people who are doing the real work, people who have shut down the business of an org, people who have kept people from going into the org. You may not like the tactics, and you don't have to. What I know is that we shut down the business of the Austin org. We made it such that they could not recruit as easily from the University of Texas at Austin students. That's what we did. And I'm proud of that. I will always be proud of the work that I was a part of here in Pearl City, shutting down the Austin org and all the other cities where I was confrontational with people who were in my sight abusing children, in my sight engaging in AMA violations, in my sight, not my sight, in my own person assaulting me, okay? Having the long guns out for me. So, Eric, yeah, no, you hang up some flyers. You know why? Because that's all you can do. You won't do anything else. You're so afraid of any kind of direct confrontation, actual protest, that you've tried to convince everyone that hanging up flyers and being nice is the only thing that you can do. And it's just my way or the highway. That sounds like Scientology. Now, I agree. Hanging up flyers is a good low barrier for entry in like activity that any protester can do. It's what you do in the office, right? When people don't want to knock doors, when people don't want to go on site, when people don't want to do the work that the other people in the protest office will do, or on your first week or something, give them something easy to do. Hang up some flyers. It does something. It creates a presence. It gets the message out. It is positive, but it is a very low level thing that a child can do, okay? So if your efforts want, to be kind of bigger, or if your imagination is larger for how it is that you can bring attention to things like this, you can do it. So Okay, I usually get angry when somebody like this lies about my friends, not about me, lies about my friends, tries to hurt my friends. That's when I come out here and I say something. Because honestly, look, we're packing. We're trying to move across the freaking country here, okay? So you haven't seen us very much. Yeah, like we're super duper stressed and we're moving across the country out of Texas, which has become a legal hellscape. Okay, and maybe you're not with, like, the idea that this country is descending into fascism, but it in fact is, and I don't care about your opinions so much as I care about my safety to get out of Texas. So yeah, we're moving, we're packing. You don't see a lot of us, but I've taken the time out of my day to say, don't lie on Rika, don't lie on Pearl, don't, like, what the hell is wrong with you, dude? These are people that are so much more effective than you, right? And that won't go out there and do the self-aggrandizing, hey, look at me at the beach. Hey, look at me at Venice. Hey, look at me at the bar. Hey, look at me in the freaking canyon. Let me give you all of the oxytocin and dopamine hits that you need for social media so that, we can get rid of the intrinsic value of what this movement is. We can get rid of that. And you can just concentrate on me, my personality, like how you relate to me. And let's just forget about the issues other than hanging up a flyer, right? So lie on Rika, lie about her profession, her family, lie about her mental health status. You're lying, Eric, in such a way that somebody very easily could bring a damaging lawsuit against you, okay? You are engaging in libelous slander, okay? That is actionable in public against somebody that can be identified by you, right? That it can be reasonably understood in court that you are identifying this person and slandering them. I would take down all of your videos where you do that quick. I would do that if I were you. If I had engaged in libelous slander that's that provable, okay? Now I'm calling you a liar, Eric, because you are. Because I can prove you're a liar. Because you lie on me. Because you lie on Pearl. Because you lie on Rika. Because you lie on most of the people in this protest movement who are doing the work, unlike you. And you lie about what the hell you said in the beginning, right? Like, I listened to you at the bar and you're like, oh my God, I've always been, you've got to be nice to everybody. You can't possibly. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You showed up at the protest saying the people that inspired you to get out on the street were DOA and me. Okay? So, no, that's a bunch of bullshit. You supported us to the hilt. You said you would defend us no matter what came, no matter who said what, right? And then what happened, right? You shut down our channel and then you go off and you start talking smack about me and all of my friends. That's what you went and did. You shut down our channel. I went silent, right? And that's on me because I knew the shit that you were doing to people. I didn't think it was appropriate for me to say anything, but I knew that you had been bullying and yelling at people and lying on them. I knew that you had been hurting people like you'd been hurting me, like you've been calling up other people, like you've been calling me, yelling for like an hour. And then saying I'm not letting you talk when you're screaming at me. And Pearl's looking at me like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on? Like coming in from the other room because she can hear you screaming at me. I'm very sorry I didn't record those calls because they do expose you as what you are. They do. And if you think that you can just do this without comment, with your 11,000 freaking subs and you only have 50 people in there or 40 or whatever. Yeah, that's real engagement, Eric. We can all tell. We can all tell that it's real. We can all tell that it's real. Yeah, Britt, screaming at me. Okay, this is not the only report. This is a bunch of people that have experienced exactly the same thing. And many of them with multiple psychological diagnoses, right? So, like, going after people that are specifically vulnerable to this kind of thing, like a Scientologist would, right? Identifying the ones that are dented in some way that their manipulation can work on, and then exploiting that weakness is what he went about doing. When people started to raise the alarm, hey, this person is working us by our good intentions and our blind spot, okay? And we feel like we're being taken advantage when the alarm is raised. You know, Eric, well, first he'll call you all the liars, and he'll run under, like, you know, Aaron Smith Levin and all of his cadre skirts for protection because, you know, they got a bunch of subs and some amount of money. You know, and today he's saying, oh my God, I'm going to go home. I'm taking it all down. I'm going home. Well, good. Good. Reform whatever the hell you're doing, man. Seriously. Because you think you're all peace and love? You're not. You've been attacking people for months. For months. Like almost every week, a new line of attack somewhere in your lives. You're like, oh yeah, I'm so nice, peace and love. And then you get in your car and you burn people down. You burn them. Okay? So, and then you act so surprised when you get clapped back at. Clap back. Here comes a clap back, Eric. Okay? You're a tool, bro. You're obvious. You're obvious only to people that maybe haven't lived enough to see what you are. Okay? And that's what a lot of this movement is, unfortunately. Like, a lot of gullible people who, like, are maybe lonely and need some kind of a connection, and somebody, like, offering them any kind of connection through the screen. I've been extremely lonely. I know what this is. You know, that will be like manna from heaven, and it will feed you in your darkest time for some time, and you don't want to let that go. That's what a lot of people in this movement are preying on loneliness. We're not the same person. No, we're not. I'm angry. Yeah, I'm angry. I'm angry that Eric's out there today hurting my friends, okay? I'm angry that he's out there lying on my friends, lying on people who are vulnerable, who won't or can't stand up for themselves the same way, okay? We're not the same person. The country clapped back. Yeah, doing work. The country clapped back and voted for fascism. Justin, that's interesting. Oh, wow, yeah. No, Eric's afraid to do anything other than, like, be in his comfortable little bubble, and then, like, he'll naysay anybody else that's not doing exactly what he's doing so he can feel better about being a coward. Okay? He ran away because it got too hot. You know, it got too hot for him, it got too confusing. And that happens, and that's fine. That's fine. It gets too much. You need to leave the field. Everybody needs to choose their level of involvement at every time, okay? People need to leave, great. People can stay, wonderful, okay? It's everybody's life and it's everybody's choice. And if you've contributed anything on the street, that's all to the good. So whatever Eric or anybody that I don't like has contributed to the street, wonderful. That helps. It all helps. It all moves it down the field. Okay? So the stuff that's helpful. But to, like, turn around and full on denigrate anybody that's not doing exactly what you're doing. See, it's not the same. See, I include that activity. I don't say it's the most important thing because I don't think it's the most important thing. But holding up flyers, holding that kind of space, doing what he's doing, that's a legit activity. Dogs are coming home. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I'm live.
What?
Sorry, I am live.
Right now?
Yes.
Oh.
Sorry. So, yeah, it's, it's trying to be inclusive, which he isn't. So, I see the good in what he's doing. He doesn't see the good in what many people are doing that has actually been effective. And has tried to take people off of the street, basically, by running them down, by running out their lines of support, by denigrating their methodology, right? By side-eyeing them, okay? And I include a lot of people in this. A lot of people have anointed themselves like the king of protest because they've like hit the street a couple times in the past year. I'm sorry. You don't know. You don't know anything. Okay? So it takes all sorts doing all the different things. The confrontational stuff, the easygoing stuff, the flyering stuff, the internet stuff, the like cold calling stuff, right? The organizing stuff, the talking to your senator and your elected official, all of that is valid. And we're here like trying to cut each other off at the knees because we're seeing stuff from a different perspective. Because we're seeing like the same object on the table from where we're sitting. And those differences we're saying are evil, are, something, deplorable, something that, we can't countenance and we can't accept. And it's just not true. For these things to survive, you need them to be broader. And unfortunately, Eric and people that are agreeing with this idea are massively narrowing it. You want to broaden the appeal. You want to like give people more stuff to do, make it accessible to more personality types. There isn't every personality type that can do any amount of confrontation in a picket, yelling slogans and saying things that are confrontational. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody is built for it. Some people are built exactly for it. And it's like, it's all effective. And the other part of it is like, it could be maximalized a bit more if there was a little organization. And we're so afraid to organize, for all of this supposed stupid RICO mythology that was placed in here mainly by Ellie, by my experience, who's the main promulgator of that conspiracy theory, was Ellie, right? That we were all going to be done up like, like the Freedom 6 or 7 in California. And it's just not true.
What org did she shut down? Oh, wait.
None org did she shut down. None org. So, yeah, basically, I wanted to come in here and clap back at Eric because he's lying on my friends, drinking before noon, like, kind of the slovenly individual that he is, waddling all over the place, huffing and puffing, doing the hard work. So lying on Pearl, lying on Rika, you're going to get clapped back at. Now, I was just convincing myself to not do anything like this because I don't have the presence of mind. I don't have the space. I don't have the time. I'm trying to move across country, y'all. It's going to be great. Looking forward to it, right? But it's like some of these people think that they're not going to get an answer back anywhere. They've blocked enough people on their channel and they've got all of their yay-sayers there. They've got, their mods who are going to give them all the fluffy feelings and they don't think they're going to get any kind of reaction. And I hate that idea because that's when bad stuff happens. That's when bad stuff happens. When, I don't know, jerk faces like that believe that there's nobody coming. Lore of DOA, you help others by getting them tripods, phone class. Yeah, dude, abso-freaking-lutely, the lore of DOA. Abso-freaking-lutely. Give them cover, give them advice, give them material, give them what they need to be out there on the street with confidence. You're absolutely right. And DOA, God damn it, when I came to Los Angeles, and we've had our differences or whatever. We've had disagreements, but I mean, for anybody to deny the fact that you were setting up protesters for success, like one after the other, is just bullshit. Is just bullshit. Like, it's the first thing that I saw you doing with me and with other people, giving protection, giving eyeballs, giving help, like monetarily, material, whatever, right? That's what it fucking takes. And honestly, like, you know, before the occupation, like you were very much the glue of what was going down at Blue, and you know that. So, no, the fact that like people get their feathers ruffled and they forget about reality. They forget about everything that happened. They become so myopic that they can't remember all of the good, the solidarity that we had, the camaraderie. Because they have a disagreement of view, they forget that that did exist at one point, and that land still exists somewhere if we can navigate to it. And we can't navigate to it if we're lying on each other, if we're making up stupid fucking mythology stories about each other. Won't happen. All right. So, or not as easily. I mean, shit, you know, like a certain group of people could steer their ship into success at any time, right? And maybe we could all just follow in their wake. That could also happen, right? But it's made easier by fucking synergy of all of our efforts, of all of our perspectives. You know, the wisdom of crowds, you know, being able to not just see everything from all of these perspectives, but to be able to share all of that information to have a more holistic and wholesome picture of what's going on. So, yeah, absolutely, Adrian. Yeah, Eric is roasting the people that are the most effective, generally. And I mean that does not look good for him wanting to actually do this work. It really doesn't. It doesn't look good. It's a bad look. You can think whatever you want. I don't care. I'm not saying anything conclusive about it, but it's not a good look. When you go after the people who are willing to put their bodies in harm's way to help this along, and saying that that work isn't relevant because you're afraid. Yeah, it's a very, 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 very bad look. Yeah, Eric received so much help and support, yeah, from DOA and others when he first, absolutely. I saw it, you know, and I heard it endlessly come out of his mouth at the beginning that DOA first and then my person were his main inspirations for coming out there on to the street. And Eric, because he's taken this hard stance, because he's had this, I mean, whether it's fake or real, I don't know at this point. I don't know. He's lied about so many other things. I don't know. Right. I don't know if it's fake or real. Right. Like, well, like, because you know, he had this emotional freak out after the occupation, and he's so mad at DOA. He believed in all the lies, all the fucking lies. Believed DOA crashed his own freaking van there in the middle of the country. You know, he probably believes I stole my own car. He probably believes all of this stuff against all of us. So, I mean, yeah, he can do as he will, and hanging up flyers is great. You know, keep on hanging up the flyers, dude. If you want to come out and speak ill in a completely untrue way about me and my friends, you're going to hear about it. You're going to hear about it. I'm going to try to make it uncomfortable for you. I'm going to expose more of you as I go forward, as you speak more, okay? And I will try to generate a chorus of like-minded individuals who have received the same treatment from you to speak publicly and make it clear, concretize the fact that you are a jerk, that you are mean to people on the phone and you treat them bad. The people that support you the most, right? Okay? And that you come out of your hiding to now like backbite and salt shake at, okay? Like a coward. So, okay, Eric the coward, I've clapped back. And I will each and every time you do this, that I'm made aware of it, because I don't like you. And I don't like what you do, and I think it's dangerous. I think it's destructive. And if you had any presence of mind, you would stop. Because what you engaged in today on your live is actionable in civil court, okay? I would take it down if I were you. Okay. So that's my thing. That's my thing. Thank you, everybody, for showing up for this impromptu clapback in the middle of moving. Eric, get bent. I think you're a coward for what you did today. You know, maybe stop doing drinking and driving lives. I don't know.
Yeah,
Might be
I
a
don't
good
know.
idea.
Especially in California, coming up on the year anniversary of my friend who was murdered by a distracted driver in that fucking state. Somebody who actually did care and who did do the work. Fuck you, Eric.
My sentiments exactly. Maybe stop doing it. I mean, for your own frickin' safety and everybody else on the road, for the reputation of the firm. I don't know. It doesn't seem like you believe in any of that, but it would be a good idea for, like, I don't know, your own legal, financial troubles. So, let alone health. All right. Yeah, Pearl rocks, y'all. Of course she does. Indeed. Thanks, Kyle Vanderwalker. Absolutely, KK. I definitely changed my ways after that. You know, I was streaming and driving more, and that has been separated.
Not one time. Not one time have you since then.
So, thanks for being here. I don't want to do this shit. I don't want to get my heart rate up. I don't want to have to do this, but I feel compelled when I see bullies going after my friends. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for remembering KK. Thank you for the hearts for KK, and for recognizing Pearl Snappy. I'm going to go back to packing and getting ready for this move. We're about to go on a really super duper adventure, and we'll be reporting more on that. Hopefully we won't have more bullshit to swat out of the air like this. Oh, Prairie Breeze, thank you very much. That's very kind. You're entirely welcome.
Hi, Laura.
We do what we can. Hey, Laura, great to see you. Yeah, so I just want to close with that all of this is just really sad. And I had all of the best of intentions with working with this person and tried to support them as best I could for as long as I could. And was rejected by this person, lied on by this person, and treated much the same as others. And because I thought that the survivor needed all the extra chances, they needed some scaffolding to help, and so I offered more of myself than I should have. And that's on me, and that's learning. I think that's learning for everybody that's been burned like this. But I went into this with the best of intentions, trying to help this person, and they keep on shitting down my neck. So
That part at Let's Go.
Yeah, you build the house and take out the trash. Happy adventuring. Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll take that. Okay, so that's a whole bunch of goodbyes. Thanks for your generosity and your time. Have a wonderful Sunday. Be good. Love to you all.